Is that kale? Where'd you get it out of? Because I didn't give it to you. You took it out of the bowl? Look at the mess. Look at all the evidence. Look what you did. Was it good? Is it good? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? If only it was this easy to get your pet bird to eat unfamiliar foods like vegetables and fruits. Hi YouTubers, this is Rico and you've reached Rico's channel. So recently I've had many questions on how I get Rico to eat as healthy as he does. So Rico will pretty much try anything and eat anything. There may be one or two foods that he doesn't necessarily like, but other than that he pretty much eats it all. So what I have done is put a video together with 12 tips that I have also used in the past and still use to this day. They also worked on my female rescue who came from an all-seed diet. So hopefully these will work for your bird as well. Tip number 1, try first thing in the morning when your bird is most hungry. Here's an example. If your bird's regular diet is pellets and you are trying to get them to eat unfamiliar foods like vegetables or fruits, simply remove the pellets, whether it's in the cage, wherever it is, out of sight and serve them whatever it is that you want them to eat first thing in the morning before they have eaten anything else. Now keep an eye on your bird to see if they're eating. Sometimes it's just best to walk away and let your bird eat on their own. Hopefully your bird will be hungry enough or curious enough to try it. If not, you may need to incorporate some of the other tips I mentioned in this video with this method. If your bird does show no interest after a while, simply place the regular food back. You don't want your bird to starve after all. This may take a couple of days, weeks, or months. Just keep repeating this every morning until it works. Now here's example number 2. If your bird is on an all-seed diet and you're trying to transition them to pellets, you can use the same example as I just mentioned in example 1. You can also start introducing other foods to your bird at the same time. Transitioning a bird from an all-seed diet to a pellet diet needs to be done slowly. You don't want your bird to starve. If you start to see your bird is eating the pellets and other foods, you can start to remove the seeds more and more daily until you just use them as treats. Remember again, this can take a couple of days, weeks, or months, but consistency is the key in order for these to work. Tip number 2, try serving it when you are eating. Birds are extremely social and always are interested in what you are eating. Obviously, this is only going to work if your bird is bonded with you and is just always used to being around you. So if this is the case, what you can do is if they come to you, like Rico always comes to me, if I'm eating food naturally on my shoulder, you can, or have them come on the dinner table. So what you can do is just continue whatever you want them to eat. Make sure you're eating it or pretend that you're eating it and make it seem really enjoyable, like almost theatrical. So what you can do is be like, Rico, is this good? Do you like it? And kind of just eat it yourself. And what Rico will do is he'll either nudge me because he wants to try it, or, you know, just, don't force it on them. Just kind of let them try a little bit and hopefully they will enjoy it and want more. You can also try this with tip number 1 and incorporate the 2 as well. If your bird is used to eating with you first thing in the morning, this is perfect. So what you can do is just remove the usual food and have them try the new food with you. Tip number 3, make it fun and mix it up. What you want to do is try something different out of the ordinary and make it more fun and exciting for your bird. So what I did with Rico is I actually put in the kale into one of his new toys and hung it up. I've never hung it up before. So now I've piqued his interest and he's curious, obviously, because that's what you want from them. And he wants to come over and check it out. And he obviously likes the kale. He's used to that. But you can pretty much put anything. So if you're going to try this, for example, on a new toy and hang it up, you can add in anything that you want your bird to try. So you can try romaine lettuce, kale, even maybe stick in some carrots. Anything you want to try, just give it a go and see what happens. You don't even necessarily need to hang up the toy. What you can do is just, if they enjoy playing on the ground with like foot toys or whatever it is. You can stick different stuff in there. What you want them to do is just try it. And they may not necessarily like it, but you want them getting the feel for it and interacting with it. And you never know, they may end up enjoying it. You can even, if your bird is used to going through foraging toys, you can start introducing them that way. Like I said, just make it fun and exciting. You want to mix it up, hang it up different places. Think of just different places where it may make your bird curious and want to go over and try it. I mean, if your bird is used to coming over and checking out what you're doing, then that's perfect. Just place something, pique their interest, and hopefully they'll come over and check it out. If they're not and they're afraid, then you may need to hang it up in their cage. So if your bird is afraid of you, you can try hang it up in their toys, in their cage, or through their cage. Just like I said, make it fun and mix it up. Tip number 4, try cooking it and serving the food warm, not hot, warm. So what you can do is, if you have tried serving your bird different types of food, for example, broccoli without it cooked, and they just won't take to it, then by all means go ahead and try cooking it. For example, with Rico, I've tried, let's just use chickpeas for example. So I'll try boiling them and he won't eat it. So I thought, because he prefers things crunchy, what I did was I boiled it and then roasted it, and he loved it. So sometimes all it is they may prefer different textures. They may prefer it warm. It's almost like a trial and error. Just try different things and see what works. Tip number 5, try adding your bird's favorite fruit juice or organic juice with no sugar onto the new food that you are trying to introduce them to. So I'm going to use pomegranate as an example and squeeze it into a juice, and then I'm going to pour it over the new food that I am going to introduce to Rico. Now obviously Rico does like carrots, so I'm just using this as an example. And what I did was I used both chop and I used whole carrots, because you may be introducing your bird to chop. Rico doesn't like chop, so you can either try both at the same time, or you can do one individual, see which one they take to. Obviously, this is only going to work if your bird enjoys eating fruit, but this worked with my female rescue who came from an all-seed diet, and I got her to transition onto pellets by using this method every single morning. And what I would do was take the pomegranate, because she did like pomegranate and grapes, but obviously I stuck to the pomegranate because the grapes has too much sugar. And I would squeeze it and pour it over her pellets. Now you don't want too much because you don't want it soaking, just enough for some taste. And eventually I had to remove the juice together, but it did work by using this method for her. Tip number 6, try placing it between your fingers. For example, you can use broccoli and just place it between your fingers, or you can hand it to them like I did with Rico with the pepper, if they're okay with it, or you can even place it in the palm of your hands. Tip number 7, try in natural sunlight or under a UV lamp. Food always looks better to birds in sunlight. With Rico, what I'll do is, when it's nice enough to bring him outside, today was nice enough, so I don't have his outdoor cage ready yet, so this is just his carry cage. What I'll do is I'll just hang different kinds of foods on a skewer. Today it's kale. The other day, surprisingly, I hung up spinach, and he never eats it inside the house, but surprisingly he nibbled on it outside. So it does go to show you that sunlight sometimes can make a huge difference. So what you want to do is obviously place it in the cage before going outside for safety reasons. Wherever you want to put it, if it's whether in the same food bowl that your bird always eats in, hang it up, put it through the bars with clips. Just provide them with different foods every single time that you go outside in the cage, or like I said, under a UV lamp, and try switching it up, or you can make it fun again through the toys as well. Tip number 8, try placing the food in a familiar spot where your bird sees it. So you can either call them and say, there you go, Rico, just kind of play with the food, walk away. Just make sure that they do see it. Chances are your bird will go check it out because birds are naturally curious. Hopefully they will enjoy the food and like it. If not, what you can do is leave it there for a little bit, not too long because you don't want it becoming spoiled. And if they don't, then just simply try the same method another day with a different type of food and continue doing that. Tip number 9, try mixing in your bird's favorite treats or food with the new food that you're trying to introduce them to. For example, Rico, he loves his bird mash, but he doesn't love sweet potato. So what I did was I cooked the sweet potato and kind of just mix in the two together, and he'll nibble at it, but at least he gets a little bit. If your bird likes his pellets, then you can kind of crunch it up a little bit more and maybe make a little bit of chop and mix that together. Just try different things, mixing the two together, so at least they kind of acquire the taste for it, or kind of try it a little bit. And what you can do is try different foods with different treats and see if that works. Number 10, hang the food on a stainless steel vegetable skewer. What I would recommend is start off with your bird's favorite food. So whether if it's fruits, even if it's, I guess, millet, whatever your bird is accustomed to, always start off with that first. So then your bird kind of becomes comfortable with the skewer itself, and then eventually you can start introduce your bird to different vegetables or anything like that on it. This one I believe I got from Amazon. You can just unscrew it and screw it back and wash it. Just be careful what you use as well, because you don't want to be placing fruits and vegetables on just about anything. Make sure it's always safe for your bird. If you don't, you can always stick at the items, I guess, through the bars, as long as you clean it if your bird is afraid of you, with little clips. But this is great because you can pretty much hang it anywhere. I also had it on outside in the outside video in Rico's cage. I bring it anywhere. I got 2 of them. So I just think it's pretty cool because he seems to have fun with it as well. And then it doesn't make a mess. You can kind of place it where you want so he doesn't carry it everywhere he goes. Tip number 11, serve foods with bright colors. Use foods that carry oranges, as I gave with Rico, the carrots, or yellows. You can do peppers, reds, strawberries, or peppers again. Birds are usually attracted to bright colors, so sometimes starting off with foods that are more colorful might help your bird's curiosity and wanting to try them, opposed to like the leafy greens and things like that. Tip number 12, try placing the new food in your bird's regular bowls or whatever they're used to eating out of. So this is, you're going to have to remove, if it is in the cage, you're going to have to remove whether it's a seed, whether it's a pellets from the cage, and simply place in the new foods that you want them to try in the cage or wherever they do eat out of a dish, how Rico does. But just keep an eye on them again, because you don't want them starving. By doing this, you're giving them, because if you place in like a new bowl or something new in the cage, they're just going to automatically go to their regular dish. So this works better if you simply place the new food in their regular bowl, and if they don't eat it, again, try another day later on with something new in the same bowl and just repeat. But just make sure you always place the old food back after a while, because you don't want your bird to starve. So there you have it. Those are the 12 tips that I have used in the past that have worked for me, and I still use some to this day. It's never too late to start introducing your bird to new healthy foods. Hopefully one or some of these tips will help your bird. Like I said, it may take a while, and please, when introducing your bird to unfamiliar foods, just take your time. Don't ever let your bird starve. Like they say, if at first you don't succeed, just try and try again. So let me know if any of these methods worked for you, if you have used any other ones that have worked for you. I'm always curious. But thanks so much, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. And bye for now. Say bye, Rico.